ANZ Bank Home Loans. You might have seen the ads on TV. They're offering $4,000 to refinance your home loan to ANZ Bank. Is it worth it? In this video, we're going to deep dive into what Cashback refinance campaign is, if you're an existing customer, how you might be able to take advantage of not necessarily this campaign, but get a better rate. And we're going to explain why you'd refinance in the first place. ANZ is offering $4,000 cash to switch your loan. What's the catch? Well, there are some, but starting from the top, why would you even refinance in the first place? In a recent video, both of us asked, I'm curious, is there a reason why banks make no effort to retain current customers? I get they offer competitive rates for new customers, point where you're threatening to leave. If they don't match the equivalent rate of a new customer, they're willing to let you go. It makes no sense to me. That's exactly right. It does make no sense. It's even got a name. It's called loyalty tax. A lot of banks assume you're going to be a bit lazy and leave your mortgage, keep paying your repayments. And over time, your rate creeps up and the rates for new customers come down, trying to incentivize people and move to the banks and offering cashbacks like this. In fact, it's reported that the gap between new and old customers can be up to 0.5%, 0.48%, the highest amount in over 3 years. Back to the original question, why refinance? Let's have a look at this switching calculator. If you've got a $500,000 home loan, your current rate with your bank's 5.5%, we've got 25 years left on your loan. Say if the new bank, in this case ANZ, is offering a rate of 4.44%, you might be like, wow, 1%, that sounds like a lot, but is it a lot? If you kept making the minimum repayments on the new interest rate of 4.44%, you'd save $304 a month because the interest rate is lower and it means you're going to pay off the loan quicker. Interestingly, if you kept making the equivalent repayment, so if you pretended like your repayments were at 5.5%, but you're actually paying 4.44%, the lower interest rate, you'd save $607 a month because you're paying a little bit extra on your home loan, assuming you're pretending like the rates are a lot higher, but in effect, you're paying it off quicker and you pay your loan off almost 50 months quicker. So you're going to save 4 years of your home loan just by refinancing. Kind of makes it worthwhile then. But back to ANZ. So you would have seen the ads around. They are offering a $4,000 cashback if you switch. But what are the terms and conditions? Well, you need to have a loan, a minimum of $250,000, and the LVR, or the loan to value ratio, needs to be under 80%. And this is where people can get caught out because you might think, well, I bought my home 6 months ago. I had a 10% deposit. Can I refinance? It generally doesn't make sense. The reason being, you're going to have to pay lender's mortgage insurance again, which is an insurance that's there to cover the bank and can cost tens of thousands of dollars. In ANZ's case, they waive lender's mortgage insurance for certain professionals. If you're an accountant, for example, a physio, a doctor, a lawyer potentially as well, they'll allow you to waive the lender's mortgage insurance if you've got a 10% deposit. What are the exclusions of the ANZ cashback? Well, firstly, it's not available for any existing ANZ customers. So you need to be moving banks, you need to be a new customer to ANZ to qualify for this, which sucks because they're not exactly rewarding loyalty for existing ANZ customers. What happens if you have a $100,000 loan and you're looking at borrowing another $150,000 for renovations? ANZ said you actually qualify. For example, if you'd like to borrow another $100,000 for work and that's part of the loan, you'd actually would count towards the minimum $250,000 loan as a cashback. Is the ANZ Refinance cashback available for investors? It is, definitely. And is it available through brokers? Of course. It's available for you at the moment. You might be wondering how ANZ Home Loans compare to some of the other banks. Well, a couple of good features are their internet banking is pretty good. It's up there with some of the bigger banks. It has full features. The fees are a little bit lower on some of ANZ's home loans. So they recently got rid of their annual package. They've changed it to a $10 per month fee for an offset account, which is nice. Or if you don't need an offset account, you can remove that monthly fee. They have a branch network if you want to have a bit of face-to-face banking as well. Some of the things they aren't so good at are if you're borrowing with less than a 20% deposit, their rates tend to be a little bit higher unless you're for the lender's mortgage insurance waiver. So keep that in mind. If you're looking at buying a new home, for example, and you've got a 10% deposit, the rates tend not to be as competitive. They're not good if you've got a bad credit history. They can be pretty critical on credit files if you've got any missed repayments or issues on your credit file in the last 6 months. And they can be sticklers with your living expenses. Definitely worth chatting to a mortgage broker on that if you've had any big expenses lately, because ANZ can really pick those apart. What about if you're an existing ANZ customer? How do you get your rate reduced? There's two things you can do. Firstly, you can call up the bank and say, hey, ANZ, I saw you're advertising a 4.44% basic variable, and if your interest rate's higher than that, what can you do? Oftentimes they'll say, oh, sorry, for not giving you a better rate, we're going to reduce your rate now, and that's all good. If that doesn't work, get your broker involved. They can help with renegotiating your existing rate and seeing if there's something better still with ANZ. Short of that, then you're going to have to look into the market. There are other banks doing cashbacks at the moment, so you could potentially benefit from moving your ANZ home loan somewhere else if it makes sense. That's where a mortgage broker like us can help out, looking across the market and seeing what's going to make sense for you, as well as setting up your strategy for your next property or helping you pay down your loan quicker and save those years off your mortgage. If you do need help with that, hit us up. We help homeowners across Australia. So if you do need any help, look forward to hearing from you soon.